Mirren hits out at the devastating impact Netflix has on her husband Taylor Hackford and fellow filmmakers. As the streaming service bows out of Cannes, Dame Helen Mirren has hit out at the impact Netflix has had on filmmakers, including her husband of 29 years, Taylor Hackford. The 72-year-old actress appeared in Friday's edition of the newspaper, where she candidly discussed the streaming service shortly after it was revealed the controversial company had pulled out of next month's Cannes Film Festival. Netflix's refusal to air its films in the cinema led to the shock decision, which will undoubtedly delight the esteemed actress after she hit out at the CEO. Speaking to the newspaper, Helen lamented how the devil's advocate filmmaker has been influenced by the controversial service, which caused ructions when science fiction drama Okja was widely panned due to its makers. The star, who confessed she watches movies on her iPad, said, "It's devastating for people like my husband, film directors, because they want their movies to be watched in a cinema with a group of people. So it's a communal thing." On a darker note, septuagenarian Helen discussed accepting death, as she said, as much a part of life as anything else. "We are all headed in that direction, sorry to tell you. It's gonna happen. So one might as well confront it, and what better time to confront it than the latter part of your life? As you travel through life, you do realize that you lose friends and colleagues and death becomes a part of your life, and that happens at every age. It's not just what happens to older people." Having made her thoughts on Donald Trump abundantly clear, with her Instagram page featuring a FK Trump slogan, she was keen to discuss the resilience of the American people. She said, "I think Americans are extraordinary. No matter what their political outlook, there is a unifying thing in America. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I know it's there. They are extraordinary organizers. They are incredibly energetic. I think they're pretty amazing people, Americans." On Wednesday, it was revealed Netflix Incorporated is pulling out of Cannes after organizers banned the streaming platform's films from competition for its refusal to release them in cinemas. Netflix Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos told Hollywood trade publication Variety in an interview it was pointless to show at Cannes after the festival rule change. Cannes Festival director Thierry Frémaux said last month that Netflix had refused to give its movies theatrical distribution in France and would therefore be banned from competition at the 12-day festival. However, Thierry said Netflix could show movies outside competition. Netflix will not participate as a non-competitor, Sarandos told Variety. "I don't think there would be any reason to go out of competition." The rule was implicitly about Netflix, and Thierry made it explicitly about Netflix when he announced the rule. "We want our films to be on fair ground with every other filmmaker," Sarandos added. "There's a risk in us going in this way and having our films and filmmakers treated disrespectfully at the festival. They've set the tone. I don't think it would be good for us to be there." Netflix plans to release 80 original films in 2018 to its 109 million streaming customers around the world. The company has released a few films, like fantasy thriller Bright, starring Will Smith, in a small number of theaters. But most major chains have refused to show Netflix movies because it releases them at the same time online. Movies from traditional studios typically run exclusively in cinemas for about 3 months. Sarandos said he personally would not attend the May 8 to 19 festival in the French Riviera, but said Netflix executives would be there looking at films to acquire. Netflix said it had nothing to add to Sarandos' comments to Variety. Netflix won 5 Oscar nominations earlier this year for its period racial drama Mudbound, while its film Icarus about Russian sports doping won Best Documentary. This and an extract from the full interview with Helen Mirren, available to read in this Friday's issue of the newspaper, priced at 60p.